Good morning. Welcome to day 11. And again, very proud of you. You've all been busy, especially Gavin. I needed to do a shout out to Gavin because he has managed to create himself a slideshow. And in the comments, he was saying he's had a Macintosh for 5 years and didn't even realize that Keynote existed, which is the Macintosh version of PowerPoint. It's similar, but of course, as an Apple fangirl, I think it's better. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. It's all a tool, and if it works, it works. So Gavin's actually been on a very steep learning curve, as he has admitted himself, to try and work out how to use these new tools. Guess what? So can you. There are things that you can do. Now, if Gavin didn't even know that Keynote existed, which is the thing that he used to create his slideshow, and then he went out and he actually created the slideshow based on very little. I didn't give him any help. I didn't really show anyone how to use Keynote, but he went out and used his own resources and nutted it out and did a lovely little slideshow, and he's managed to put it up into SlideShare. So awesome, good job. Next step, maybe add some music and turn it into a video. Hi Amanda, welcome. Whoever's here, it'd be lovely if you could leave a comment, just say hi so I know who's around. Sometimes it tells me who's here and sometimes it doesn't. So it's always nice to know that I'm not, it's like, otherwise it feels like I'm talking to a mirror. It's a little odd, but anyway, get used to it. In the future, I might run it and we might do the calls on something like Zoom, where we can all, if you want to have your face on, you can, or you can just have your screen blank, but we can all, it's almost like sitting around a conference room for anyone who hasn't used it. Hey Gavin, you'll have to listen later if you've only just arrived, because I just gave you a big shout out for all your work you've done this week. Very impressive. Anyway, so in the future, I have been thinking, I've just typed into Danielle, that I might run this on a regular basis, not just for you guys, but to help me out, to make sure that I get stuff done. And in that case, rather than using Facebook Live, hey Frankie, I might use something like Zoom, because then I don't just feel like I'm talking to a mirror, which is, it's okay, but it's not, yeah. It's much nicer to have that interaction where it's face-to-face. We can all actually chat. Yeah, it's a bit like sitting around a conference room table, or, or around a kitchen table, whatever's more comfortable. So I might do that. As to how often I would run it, if I could put it into my schedule once a month, it'd be a good idea for 2 weeks of every month, but that might all get a little bit crazy. So I just need to think about that. So if you all are interested in it, let me know, because there's not much point me running it on a regular basis if people aren't interested. All right, now, so again, Gavin, well done. You have proved that it is possible to go from not really knowing much of the tech, at least in one part of this world, to actually creating something quite quickly, and you've done a great job. Very impressed. So if you are having trouble with any element, especially the technology, because that tends to be what trips people up, or even if you're just not sure what it is I need you to do, or what I want you to do, or what I expect you to do, or anything like that, then just let me know, because there is actually no silly questions. I would much prefer that you asked me and got your question out of the way, because if you're thinking about it, it's quite likely that other people are having similar issues. So please do ask questions in the Facebook group or here, and we'll get it sorted out, because yeah, mostly there is an answer to every question that you have. There is no silly questions, as I said, and it's much better that you're moving along smoothly than getting yourself stuck on one little, especially if it's a technology thing, that can actually have us ground down to pretty much a halt if we're not careful. And between us all, and even if I don't know how to work it out, I've got Simon sitting in the background, and as Frankie knows, I go to him quite a lot when the technology overwhelms me. So there's always a way around it, and the idea is to be able to step over it, keep going. All right, so make sure you're asking questions, and especially in this repurposed week, because there is quite a bit of technology that you may or may not have had anything to do with before, like Gavin. The other thing is, if you can be putting in the content, either put in the actual content or just to say what it is that you've created in the last day, that would be great on the Facebook group, because that just encourages other people to go and start doing things as well. So if you could do that, that would be awesome. Obviously, if you could actually put the image or the slideshow or link to the slideshow or something, that would also be fantastic, because it just gives everyone else inspiration that if they can do it, I can do it too. So thank you, Gavin, because that'll give everybody inspiration that that they can do it. I mean, it's one thing for me to do it. I've been doing it for many years, and I don't find most of this particularly difficult, apart from the fact, as I said yesterday, Gavin, you have to actually think. When you're creating those slideshows, it's like, how can I take all of these words and these concepts that I've done on this blog post, how do I put that into a few images and then a little bit of text that will make sense to somebody viewing this? And that in itself can be a little tricky, but that's not really to do with the technology. That's more to do with getting your thoughts and ideas in a succinct fashion in that technology, if you know what I mean. So yes, if you need help, let us know. And if when you actually start sharing your stuff, everybody else will see that actually it is possible to create these images. It is possible to create slideshows. And then movies. I want to see Gavin turn his into a little movie with some music, because I think that would be awesome. And it's probably quite something that people will be quite keen to share too. So, and that's ultimately what you're after. If you can get your community to do some of the sharing for you, then they're doing some of that hard work. Excuse me. So they're you're tapping into other people's communities as well. So, and the snowball starts to roll, which is what we want to do. Now, what else did I want to say? I've got myself a little notes over here to the side. Obviously, one of the things you can be doing is supporting each other's posts. So when somebody puts their post up of their, especially their blog post, you can go and put that into Buffer. So all you would need to do is go and have a look at their blog post. By now you should have, you may not have, if you haven't, do this, go and get the Buffer browser plugin. I think it only works on Chrome and Firefox. Actually, I think it's working on Safari as well. Do I have it on Safari? Yeah, I do. So you can actually, most of the browsers in that case actually work with the Buffer. It's just a little plugin. So if you need me to create a video to show you how to do that, I can do that. So the actual, whenever you're on any page on the web, you click on the little Buffer link in your browser, just on the top up near the search bar, and it'll just pop up a window. And in that window, it will have grabbed the link from the page that you're on. So in this case, it's one of the other members' one of the other members' blog posts from their blog. And then you can just add a little bit of text. It already grabs the image. So you could just say, check out, my friends created this or written this, or this is a great, you just add a little bit of text, a little bit of context around why you are putting this, why you're sharing it. And then you can select whatever social media platform you've set up in Buffer that you want to share it to. And then you just hit schedule, and it'll just go out when you've scheduled it, when you put your schedule in Buffer to go out, or you can hit share now. So there's a couple of options there that I won't go into now, but if you need me to show you how to do that, I can do a quick video to show you how to do that. It's actually very, very simple, but it's a quick way that we can all be helping each other out by sharing across Facebook and Twitter and things like that, and spreading our message further and using our different communities to be able to help our fellow challenge members to get more reach for their content. So think about that. That would be awesome. And of course, you'd like it if someone did it for you. So there you go. And Frankie's been doing it quite a bit. So thank you, Frankie. That's awesome. Now, the last thing I just wanted to mention is in the challenge resource area, I have one of the last videos is called, I don't know, it's like a bonus video, something like that. And in there is a few sort of more advanced techniques, if you like. I think it was in that one. I think I also put it in this one as well. Sorry, I'm now mumbling. I did all these videos at one time, and so I then got a little bit lost. In one of these videos, I think it was in that one, I also added copying your entire post and putting it on LinkedIn, because especially if your audience is there in any way, it's another great place that it can be. You don't need to really change the content. There is a big thing on the web about not having duplicate content, but I believe when it comes to putting it over on LinkedIn and what they call LinkedIn Pulse, you don't have to worry so much about that. So, and I've been doing it for a long time. So if you do a blog post, just copying it and pasting it into your LinkedIn account is a great idea. Now, in saying that, that's sort of repurposing that blog content. On the Facebook group, I posted a link to a blog post from CoSchedule. I was just trying to find it. Anyway, it's in there somewhere. I posted it yesterday, and that gives you a whole lot of other places apart from LinkedIn where you can do similar things. Some of them prefer that you change up, maybe you change the heading, you change a little bit inside the blog post so that it's not exactly the same content sort of everywhere on the web. But these places are places where hello Jodie, these are places where your blog post will get a little bit more traction. So they're kind of like blog sharing places. One of them, you could just put in your RSS feed, and this is going to get a little bit technical for you. Again, I could create a video to show you how to do that. All blogs have like a technology sort of feed. It's called an RSS, which is Real Simple Syndication, sort of stands for, which tells other bits of technology, other websites, that you've created something over there. So as soon as you created a blog post and hit publish, a message would be sent over there, somewhere else, on another website, to say that that's the case. And then they come over, the robots do, and grab some of that information that you set up and pulls it over there as well and shares it. Or, you know, sometimes they just share a part of it, like they just do, you know, like a description or something. But that's a great way to get your content, you know, pushed out further. So go and have a look at that blog post. There's something like 52 different places they recommend in there. Obviously, I wouldn't suggest that you use 52. You only really want your stuff to go where you know your audience is. So go and have a look. Very powerful. Most of the people who get any kind of traction in blogging use those kind of platforms. All right, so go have a look at that blog post. If you want any more detail, let me know. I love doing little videos, as you've noticed. And so I can, you know, I don't mind doing a little video to show you how to set one up or whatever. All right. Now, any questions? No? Yes? Maybe? Yes? Thumbs up. I love thumbs up. They're awesome. So any questions about what you're doing and what you should be creating? Gavin, what would be the optimum length of a tray of video? Well, I think any video, unless it's full of sort of text and, you know, you're teaching something, you don't want them to be too big. So I would keep it well under 5 minutes, even under 3 minutes if you can. If you think about your own consumption of that kind of thing, if it looks like it's going to go too long, you won't even hit play. Yeah, so that's what you would need to think about. I wouldn't have it go too long at all. And I think your little slideshow, if that's what you're talking about, that's, what was it, 6 slides or something? So 6 or 8 slides, you could easily do that within, you know, even a minute, and that would be fine. So yeah, I wouldn't, even the movie trailers, when you see the big Hollywood movie trailers, as a rule, they don't go any longer than 3 to 5 minutes, if that. So for yourself and our attention span online, it's not very good. So unless you're actually teaching something, I would keep it down to, yeah, even the optimum is probably under 2 minutes. So because people just don't have the attention span because we're too busy. Probably one of the exceptions to that is when you upload it directly to Facebook, because they automatically then show and you can see people can watch it without actually pressing play. So they don't have to have the sound. But yeah, anyway, so I would keep it low though if you can. All right, I hope that's helped. Has that answered the question? I don't know whether when I say something whether there's a delay, because I often do get some response, but after, you know, like 30 seconds or something. Yeah, see, 30 seconds. It's got to have been 30 seconds since I said that. Thank you, Gavin. I'm glad I can help. Yeah, so any more questions? Otherwise, I will see you the same time tomorrow in the same place, right here. And what I would like to see is few more things being posted up on the Facebook group so that you are starting to fill up your little folder on your computer full of marketing collateral, full of lots of images, infographics, videos, all of that kind of stuff that you can use to promote your blog post over the next few weeks. So, and of course, it'd be nice to hear that you're filling up your buffer accounts with all that stuff too. All right, I hope this has helped. Go create, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for being here. See ya.